What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Def back again for another review. Been a while since I've done 24 frames vids. I know a lot of y'all say y'all like this format. It does look a little bit better. I just gotta get a better lens for the 60 FPS, but that's a whole nother discussion, man. Right now we are talking about Chris Brown's album Breezy. Not the deluxe, but I'm actually chiming on the deluxe one. Scratch that, I'm chiming on the deluxe. I gotta say, man, as the title says, you see, man, overhated. Let's just get straight to it, man. I think that Chris Brown's album is overhated, and I'll talk about it a little bit after I give my opinions on the album, but it's understandable why it's hated, in quotations, heavy quotations, on why it's hated. But as for just a musical experience, just listening to straight through, it is very intimidating. First of all, you get 23 tracks on the regular album. Going into the deluxe, you get an extra 11 tracks. That makes it 33. I think my math is right. Don't quote me on that. 33, 32, 34. No matter what, over 30 is a hell of a lot of tracks. I don't care who you are. Even Kanye West got shit for Donda being as long as it was, even though I myself personally enjoyed it. We're not talking about myself. We're talking about the whole wide world in my fucking hands. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I think that Chris Brown, while it is very, very long, man, he did a great job at just producing fire tracks, not making it very repetitive, just some feel-good tracks all throughout. And I think that he kind of hit every musical aspect in the Chris Brown genre that he's done on this album, and I don't think it was very boring at all. I think that if you listen to the album and you didn't go into it with the I Hate Chris Brown Woman Beater album, then you would actually, you would enjoy it. You would hear it with your ears, not connect the music to the person, and you would just hear and just be like, okay, this is a fire ass album. Because I think from track one, I think for me, man, well, y'all watch the stream, and for me, track 1 to track just 10, there's no misses for me. Every track from track 1 to 10 was a miss. My first miss was Jack Harlow. I know Jack Harlow for me, it's kind of been an off year for me with Jack Harlow. I am a fan still, but his album didn't really resonate me with that well, and just that feature right there kind of turned me off as well. He said some crazy shit in that track, but I think from 1 through 10. The album was very promising, and it didn't get boring at all. I was sitting there. I remember on the stream. If you want to watch the full reaction, it is on Patreon. I forgot to say that. My bad. I forgot to say that. If you guys want to watch the full reaction, it's a full Patreon. I definitely was not going to put that on YouTube, so I'm sorry for you guys that wanted that, but I apologize. But I just think that for the first 10 tracks, I'm sitting there, I'm enjoying it, and I'm thinking here like, yo, we really might have something here. But then realizing we have another 23 tracks is kind of turning me down. Now, the one thing I will say for this album is that I love, even though Chris Brown did a 30-track album, Kanye West did a 30-track. Well, this is the thing about Chris Brown. Chris Brown is kind of like, not saying the creator, but he's basically not one of these ones that to drop these big-ass projects. He's done it now for his last 3 projects. He did it for Indigo, which y'all know for me is one of my favorite Chris Brown albums of all time. Aside from his first album, debut album, that Indigo was special to me. I know a lot of people overlooked that, and I still haven't myself. I told everybody I have not listened to Heartbreak to a Full Moon fully. There's still a couple tracks on there that I have missed because the album is so long. I get it. There's times where you don't want to sit for a 30-track album. You don't want to sit down and sit back and get the experience. I get that. It's my job, quote unquote, but I get that. But the beauty of it is the fact that you can come back. The Dream did it as well. I'm still listening to The Dream Sex Tape 1, 2, 3. I think that's what it's called. I think they're all put together. But you get a chance to kind of just dwell and indulge into the album, because the album is going to be out now for a year and a half. I think Indigo came out in 2020, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I think it came out during the COVID year, or it might have came out in 2021. But you had a whole year basically to kind of just enjoy new Chris Brown. Look, man, Till the Wheels Fall Off, Fire Intro, CAB, which is the track with Fivio 4, and that was kind of a drill track, but they did a little mix to it themselves. I thought that was pretty creative in itself, because all sounds so similar, and I think that CAB was a couple times that I enjoy the New York drill sound being a little flipped. Kanye did it as well with Off the Grid. You kind of see what they do off the grid. That's when I feel like New York drill gets creative, not that same old tick, 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 fast kind of motherfucking tempo or whatever beat they do. Pitch Black, West Coast vibes. I thought that Chris Brown had a lot of West Coast tracks on here. When I say West Coast, I mean like the hyphy tracks, shit like YG Fuck It Up, and who else, E40 Bang, and who else does tracks like that? Mike Sherm. Y'all know what I'm talking about? The SOB type shit, the West Coast vibe. So I feel like Chris Brown, he did very, very well on these kind of tracks. Pitch Black was one of them, and the other one was, I believe it had a feature from Blast X, as I call him, but Blast. He had a track with Blast X also with another kind of West Coast sound. And then let's not even get into Possessive with Blue. Again, I love Young Blue. I know he changed his name to Blue. I think Blue was a very promising artist. Had a crazy album. I think it was called Around the Moon or To the Moon. That was last year. Again, I'm not really good with names. I listen to so many shit. But I think Blue had a very underrated album last year that I have not highlighted yet. I'm going to do it soon. But Young Blue had a very underrated album last year, and I think that his vocality on here was just crazy. You go into Addicted with Lil Baby. Very solid verse from Lil Baby. I think I said it in my video that Lil Baby always does his greatest shit on features. I don't care what nobody says. Whenever Lil Baby gets on a feature, it's great because it now expands his artistry. All right, it's not the same old trap beats that he be doing and shit. It's actually other people's beats, and he sounds very, very well, man. Call Me Every Day was the kind of like the soca vibe, the little dance hall type vibe, and I think that it also Chris Brown being on that kind of track as well. Fire, Closure, her and Chris Brown have not missed yet. I think it's a great combo, and if they ever did a singing mixtape together or a singing project together, I think that shit would be fucking dope. Need You Right Here, I Need You Right Here. That shit, that shit is crazy. Like that Need You Right Here at first, I loved it. That boom, boom, boom. At first, I didn't. First of all, the production throughout this album has to be his best. Out of the three that I've heard. Indigo, and this is the problem too. I was comparing it to Indigo because Indigo had the same problem for me. Well, not the same problem. It was the same kind of thing. It was 11 tracks, no misses. I think that Indigo, no misses, 11 tracks was crazy. The bass is always going to be there for Chris Brown as well. Chris Brown is always going to have crazy bass. Need You Right Here though. Sex Memories was probably the track that I was kind of questionable on, but I did love it. Him, whatever you want to call it, with SG. ESTG, Eastern G, SG, however you want to say it, fire artist. I think that SG was a great feature on there, man. But Chris Brown, when it went into that hook, like towards the end, probably like towards the 2-minute mark, man, that shit was crazy, bro. SG was a good addition on that, man. A lot of people complain that he had a lot of features on here, but I wasn't mad at that because you have to have features if you're going to have a 33-track project. Like, you got to have features. There's no way you're going to have just 33 tracks of just you doing you. Why I think Chris Brown could do it, I just don't think it's a very safe alternative. You feel me? Like, and then we get to the First Myth, Psychic, Show It Fire, man. Sleep at Night Fire. No, Sleep at Night, hold on. Let me Sleep at Night was that one track because there was 2 tracks on here, and I was trying to remember. Survive the Night and Sleep at Night, where it actually showed a more classy side of Chris. It showed him getting more into his R&B bag instead of his R&B trap bag. And I think that, man, when I heard these 2 tracks, for me, that's what kind of solidified, like, okay, this is fire. Like, this album is some shit. He had a track with Tory Lanez on there. That was dope. He had a couple Michael Jackson-esque track as well, with not Harder. I think it was Slide. Not Slide. I think it was. Oh my God! Just hearing bro. That album was an experience, bro. That album. Oh my God, that album was an experience. I think I think it was Luckiest Man was that track, or it had to be on some new shit. I don't want to play too much because I want to get copyrighted. But man, if Chris Brown just did it, excluding the deluxe, because I feel like the deluxe had Inner Peace, Talking About was actually a track that wasn't being played on Spotify, but I did listen to it a little bit later. But Talking About, Hate Me Tomorrow, another Island trying to track with DeVito, Nobody Has to Know. I just think In the City, great way to end the deluxe. I just think his album, even when you listen to Indigo had Meami, Under the Influence, that's what it was called. I just think Indigo was the same exact thing. A lot of people didn't listen to it right at the beginning because they were overwhelmed and intimidated by the 30 tracks, but who wouldn't be? And then when you actually take a stop and have some time, because I understand there's so much music out there, but when you have some time on a late night drive or some free time and you just kind of just pop it, letting it play in the background, you start to realize like a lot of these tracks are very, very fucking dope. And I think that Chris Brown did another one. He did it with Indigo and he did it again. I think it's really easy when you do an R&B compared to rap. I think that doing a 30 track rap album is like, that's like kamikaze right there. You definitely cannot do that. But with R&B, it's a little bit more, understandable. A lot of people will accept R&B because R&B never gets old, in my opinion. I feel like you can listen to that shit all day and just let it rock. But whereas rap, you're very, 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 specific with your rap, your bars, all of that. And everybody is always kind of critiquing rap at a different level than any other genre. So I really think it's just impossible. Not impossible, but, it's kind of just like, if you're not a big artist, you don't do a 30-track album. That's just in my opinion. But I just think that the problem with Chris Brown, there has to be some kind of con, right? Pros and cons. But in my opinion, I think the reason why, and I'm not going to speak, I'm not saying this is the solidified, but I'm saying there's a good portion of people that dislike Chris Brown, understandably, for his past antics. And, this is my thing when it comes to the music, because I'm a person that separates the music and the art, and music and the person, the art and the person. It is what it is. Everybody has fucked up past. Everybody has what they do. But this generation seems keen on trying to cancel everybody, and forgiveness is just not an answer for anybody in this era. Gen Z is something's weird with this generation, but I think that has a lot to do with social media and everybody just acting like their morals are higher than others, like they're not under the spotlight 24/7, because I'm pretty sure they've done some bad stuff in their past. If we're not going to be a society that forgives, then what are we as a society, right? Like, that's how I kind of think about it. But anyways, that's a whole other topic. I just think that Chris Brown, what he did is what he's done. So my job as a critiquer is not to judge someone's character, is to listen to the music and judge the music, right? So my thing is, if you hate Chris Brown, say that, but don't say the album was trash. And when someone asks you, did you listen to the album? You said, I did not even listen to it. So how is the album trash if you didn't even listen to it? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's where I feel like where the irrationality comes in. Now, I understand with people, I'm not going to listen to the album. I respect you. You don't have to listen to the album, and you have your reasons, and it's understandable because of what Christopher Brown has done. I get that. But don't be one of those where you're like, the album is trash. You listen to 2 tracks and be like, it was just trash. That's where, as a music listener or whatever, I kind of take it, it's distasteful in my mouth and it's disrespectful, because I'm just like, yo, hate the man, but don't hate his art when you didn't even give it a chance. You feel me? And that's kind of just where I feel like a lot of people do. A lot of people do it for every artist. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not one of those. That's kind of the music person. That's the person I am, a little older. I'm about to be 32 this year. A lot of people don't know that, or popular people don't think about that, but I'm a little older, and like R. Kelly for me, like, again, R. Kelly did some fucked up shit. But music is how you connect. I'm not connecting R. Kelly's "My Body's a Calling for," like, while he's talking about a freaking minor, I'm talking about my partners and how that song applies with me. There's definitely different ways you can listen to music. You can appreciate production. You can appreciate, some people, like I said, going into lyrics so hard. The era we're in, no one's listening to lyrics anymore anyway. We're just listening to the beats and the vibe. So that's kind of just where I look at it, man. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not a supporter of that, and that's what people think, but I'm not a supporter of that. No, I'm a person that enjoys music, and that's where I think another thing too is everybody always has this, you're going into this and you're going into that, like, you support this, like, just because I watched somebody talk about killing fire ants, now you're a fire ant supporter. Like, no, that's not how that works. All right, I'm not a fire ant supporter. I just watched it. All right, I just listened to it, I watched it. I can still have my own opinion and still be open, right? Like, and still be not understandable, because, or yeah, understandable as well fits into that description. I just think that it's a different generation, man. And again, Chris Brown has done some crazy shit, but don't miss out on good music because whatever you still listen to him. Like, nah, like, form your own opinion. That's all I gotta say. Form your own opinion, man. The album was fire, man. If I had to give it a rating, man, I would literally right now, as I listen to it, it's an 8.5 out of 10, bro. Solid. Like, solid 8.5 out of 10. I would give that, no questions. And That's just how I feel about it. So that being said, man, get in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget, follow me on social media here. Get a video at 3,000 likes, man. Get the vinyl on the wall, even though the walls fucking fill. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about the album. What's your rating that you give it? If you want to watch the full video, it is on Patreon. Again, sorry I had to do the reviews to this, man. I'm trying to get more reviews out for the albums that I don't do or I'm not going to put on YouTube anyway. Because we do Twitch. As you guys know, I am now a half Twitch streamer. If you guys did not know that, follow me on twitch.tv/_Meami. And yeah, man, so do that. And yeah, if you want to watch the full video, it is on Patreon as well, man. The full 3 hour of fucking footage of this goddamn album. So that being said, man, I love y'all. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for subscribing. See you next time, man. We out. Peace.